Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Lady Sugarbomb and today we are going to focus on the Dress to Impress themes of the 1980s and 1990s. I'm gonna just create some looks and I'm no expert, but if you like the looks then feel free to copy them. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks and bye.
Right, so now I've done this before in real life. It was a lot of eyeshadow. I want actual genuine 80s makeup, not 80s pretend. Let's be honest, I don't think we're going to get the right eyebrows here. Because everyone in the 80s had like no expression on the dance floor and stuff. They just danced. And the whole trend of the 80s was to look like you're not having a good time when you're dancing. Right, so that's the eyebrows. What are we working on now? Lips. But I don't know why, but that's appealing to me. What about this one? Maybe this one will work better. Because I'm looking at Madonna's face and it's almost got that vibe. First thing I'm going to do is give myself a nose, because I'll be honest, with no nose it looks a bit strange. That's going to do for a nose. I'm not fussed about that. So her eyes look classy, sort of, with the eyeshadow. I feel like this one will work, actually. Is there a way... What should we do for this blush? So, yeah, that feels 80s. Nothing screams 80s in this hair section. No, I know what screams 80s hair. This. Aha. Right, so there was a lot of leotards. Right, let's go back to the good old... Right, first of all, we're going to get tights. Right. And then we're going to get shorts. Oh, why do they have to do that and click through? That's just grim. Oh, okay, it looks a lot more like a dress than a leotard, but maybe we just went with that. Let's mix up a few things. We're experimenting anyway, aren't we? Well, excuse me, I got a cold. And a lot of neon, but I'm gonna just go pink, maybe pink and white. Pink and yellow. Let's try pink and yellow. These are proper 80s. I remember kids wearing these when I was younger. Lovely. That's my look anyways. So, let's have a look. 90s. Oh, first of all, there's that old napkin top, but they haven't got them. So, I'm going to put a boob tube on, which is a classic 90s thing. You know what was a very 90s? Denim. What if we double denim it? Yeah, this feels 90s. I was going to go with flares, but I'm going to go with flares for the 2000s look. So there's not a lot you can do, much more I can do really for the 90s look. We want to get the long hair. I feel like a long ponytail with the two little things going down will work. I'm feeling that. We are gonna have to look at 90s makeup quickly. Right, 90s, you just kind of look like a pulled back drag queen. So let's try a pulled back drag queen look. I typed in 90s makeup, right, and I'll be honest, everyone looks so different. That kind of feels 90s, if I'm honest, but not. Now we want thin eyebrows, because that was the thing then. It was like a massive thing then to have really thin eyebrows. The thinner the better. Although they don't really need to be arched like that. Right, come on. Ah, cool, perfect. Right, lips. I don't really think it matters with a lip shape. Because everyone's got different lip shapes anyway, don't they? But I feel like that works quite well. That is good 90s as far as I'm concerned. So, the next theme I'm going to do is the 2000s. First thing I'm going to focus on is the makeup. I'm going to go very like Britney Spears, I think, with this makeup, or sort of Christina Aguilera type of thing. So basically, we're just going to go with like sort of light blue eyeshadows, frosty pink lips, and highlighter, and just that general look. So let's just see how we go as we go along, because I'm no expert at this. I'm just having a go. Let's try these eyes. These seem to be just, you know, they work. They'll work. I suppose the eyebrows are still very thin in the 90s, just like they were in the 2000s, but still very defined. So let's try and mimic that. That looks like it could well work, actually. I haven't got a nose a minute, so let me just put a nose on it, because I always feel weird about doing the looks when they haven't got a proper nose. That'll do it. That's a nose. Let's go back to lips. Lips are different for everyone, so what does it matter? Let's just put them on. Ooh, they look glossy, so they'll match the frosty thing. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, let's just keep that going, because let's be honest, the 90s, there was a lot of highlighter going on. So we're going to go with an eyeshadow now that's on the top lashes, and hopefully one that's just under the brow. If not, no, we can't do it. We'll just have to compromise, but fingers crossed. Maybe this will work. Yeah, that. Let's work with that. That'll do. And we'll make the main focus the clothes. Blush now. No, we don't have that either. No, we don't want that. It looks like a doll. That's subtle. We'll work with that. That's a decent blush. Let's see if we can make it like a bit of a darker. Yeah. Let's run with that. That's fine. There seemed to be a bit of a thing for a little bit of a thing for like braids or plaits mixed amongst straight hair. So what I'm going to do for this, don't have a clue. Like, yeah, right, let's try and put this in. Right, let's go with this hair. And I think I'm going to give her red hair, because as I remember it, red hair was quite popular in the 2000s. Because I wanted to put like a little bit of a flash through that. Let's do that. Make sure it's that colour. Yeah, that's perfect. I can only really see one set of dreads. Let's try and run her through. Let's try and give her a bit of dreads to go in amongst that hair. Make sure the back is as good as the front. Oh, they're different lengths. We'll scrap that. So yeah, let's run with that for the hair for 90s. No, for 2000s. Now, when I was in the 2000s, I did used to have a bit of a thing for, I will show you. So I used to have a top that pretty much looked like this. My sleeves weren't furry, but they did kind of do this flare out thing. I loved a good gypsy top. A gypsy top was absolutely my gig. And then another 2000 look I enjoyed was a good pair of flares. Who doesn't love a good pair of flares? In the 90s anyway, everybody loves a good pair of flares. So I'm deciding now between which pair. I'm going to go with these ones. These feel like they're more up my street. And I am basically making myself in the 90s, essentially. But not me, because actually I didn't have red hair. Someone photoshopped red hair on me once. Anyway. Low rise, yeah, let's go with a low rise. And yeah, that's essentially my look in the 90s. In the 2000s, that was my look. I also used to have like a little black necklace on all the time. Terrible for it. Not like this one, but they haven't got the ones that I had. But so let's just run with that. Okay, so shoes. I do actually want to say I think platform shoes would be good with this. If I'm really honest, in the 2000s I wore a lot of trainers, so I'm going with that. That's what I'm going with. And yeah, this is my finished look, I think. Yep.
That concludes the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. If you liked, give it a like, subscribe, and a comment if you've got anything you want to say. Also, the next video, I'm going to do some more decades themes, so keep an eye out for it. Okay, bye!